Hey, welcome back. You never quite left, did you? They thought you were done, discarded, forgotten. Just another shadow in the dust of their so-called victories. They whispered your name like it was a curse, or worse, an afterthought. But here you are again, standing taller, darker, colder. Not because the world lit the way for you, but because you burned down everything that blocked your path. You didn't wait for a second chance. You made your own. They'll say it's madness. They'll say it's vengeance. They'll try to rewrite your story with their trembling hands, but they can't hide from what's coming. Not anymore. Because you triggered a plot twist they'll never forget. You were the quiet one, the underestimated, the sideline figure in the background. Oh, how they smirked, how they rolled their eyes at your silence. But silence is deceptive, isn't it? It is not a void, it is a forge. In the shadows, you sharpened your resolve like a blade. In the silence, you fed the fire that now consumes your doubts. You are not just back, you are reborn, reassembled from broken bones and shattered pride, stitched together by scars they left. And now they will read every one of them like scripture. This isn't revenge, it's revelation. A divine chaos descending with your name, etched in its spine. They don't know what you went through behind the curtain. The nights that bled into morning, the screams no one heard, the war you fought inside your own head. They don't see the days you had to pretend everything was fine when every breath was a battle, but you survived. And not only did you survive, you evolved. Pain taught you its language, and now you speak it fluently. Every rejection fueled your rise. Every insult became a brick in the empire you're about to unleash. You are the storm they laughed at yesterday, and now they tremble because they feel the pressure drop. You triggered the twist, and the forecast is carnage. Let them remember this. You were never weak. You were waiting. Timing is a weapon, and you wield it like an artist carved stone. You chose the moment when their guard was down, when the masks they wear started to crack, and now you strike. Not out of spite, but with precision. Not to hurt, but to transform the narrative. They wrote you off. They tried to define your limits, but what they didn't realize is you were writing too. And your ink is darker. Your pen is dipped in reality, not fiction. You don't care for applause. You came for the aftermath. The silence after you've spoken. The stunned expressions when the tables are flipped. And the shock when they realize you were never the victim. You were the beginning of the reckoning. You don't need to prove anything to them. You owe them nothing. The only thing you owe is to that past version of yourself who cried in silence, who begged for strength, who endured humiliation. That version, the one they tried to destroy, is the foundation of your wrath. Your success is not built on smiles and sunshine. It's carved from pain, rage, and the will to rise when everything says, stay down. And now, here you are, the architect of their discomfort. The consequence they didn't calculate. The twist in the tale they were too arrogant to expect. You're not part of their story anymore. You've authored your own. And it's no fairy tale. It's a storm. It's a reckoning. It's a bloody page-turner they'll never put down. You didn't come back to fit in. You returned to disrupt, to dismantle, to destroy the lies they built around you. Let them scramble. Let them retreat. Let them pretend they always believed in you. It's too late. You remember every sneer, every betrayal, every time they chose someone else, every time they ignored the weight you carried. You don't need revenge because you have something more powerful. Redefinition. You are not what happened to you. You are what you chose to become in spite of it. You've taken every failure, every heartbreak, every insult, and turned it into ammunition. Now you're locked and loaded, and the world doesn't stand a chance. People forget until they can't. They ignore until the noise is too loud. And now your footsteps echo in the hallways of their comfort. You are the disruption they prayed would never come. You are the manifestation of consequences they thought would never catch up. This is not a comeback, it's a resurrection. And you don't rise quietly. You rise with thunder in your voice and a past that screams through your eyes. You are no longer asking to be seen. You are demanding to be remembered. This is not for them. This is for you. Every step forward is a slap to every doubt they projected onto you. Every success is a monument to your endurance. You are not here to participate. You are here to conquer. The best revenge isn't anger, it's elevation. And you've ascended beyond their reach, beyond their games, beyond their comprehension. They tried to bury you. They forgot you were a seed. Now you've grown into something unrecognizable, something they cannot prune or poison. Your power doesn't come from approval. It comes from awakening. You are not defined by their acceptance. You are not validated by their applause. You are beyond labels, beyond their metrics, beyond their reach. You triggered a twist so violent, so poetic, it will echo in every corridor they walk. They will tell your story in whispers, their voices trembling, because they know you came back and you weren't merciful. You walk differently now. There's weight in your stride, history in your silence, fury in your calm. They don't realize it yet, but everything has changed. You've seen the truth. You've endured the fire. You've danced with your demons and didn't blink. And now you wear your darkness like armor. Let them come with their petty words, with their shallow judgments, with their rehearsed pity. None of it touches you. You are untouchable because you've already suffered worse. You've already survived the depths. What can they possibly throw at you that doesn't pale in comparison to what you've already endured? Nothing. You've outgrown their weapons. This world was never fair, but that doesn't mean you were made to lose. You are chaos personified, order wrapped in fury, the unanswered question in every mediocre mouth that dared to call you weak. And now, the answer is clear. You are the consequence they didn't see coming, the plot twist they can't control, the change that rewrites everything. This is your era, not because it was gifted to you, but because you took it with bloodied hands and unbreakable will, and now they'll remember, forever. Let them stare. Let their eyes widen with disbelief, because you were never supposed to make it this far, not in their version of the story. You were written off in the margins, buried under their expectations, their limitations, their cowardice disguised as wisdom. But you broke the script, you tore the pages, bled into every line, and now they're reading a new chapter, a violent, poetic uprising of everything they said you couldn't become. This isn't just success. This is retribution through excellence, revenge through reinvention. And the worst part for them, you did it without them, without their help, without their belief. You rose because you refused to rot. Every lie they told, every fake smile, every handshake laced with poison, it all added fuel to the fire. They thought you didn't see it, didn't feel it, but you did. You saw everything, and you remembered. You remembered how they laughed when you stumbled, how they whispered when you failed, how they disappeared when you needed them. And now, when you walk in the room, silence follows like a shadow. Not because you demand it, but because your presence rewrote the rules. They fear what you've become, and rightfully so. Because what stands before them isn't just a survivor. It's a storm forged in silence, refined in solitude, and baptized in betrayal. You didn't just endure the fire, you became it. You are not the same soul who begged for approval, who cried behind closed doors, who questioned their worth every time someone left. That soul died. It was sacrificed so something greater could be born. Now look at you. Your back is straighter. Your gaze is heavier. You wear your past like a crown of thorns, and each step you take breaks the ground beneath those who tried to hold you down. You aren't rising from ashes. You are walking out of the inferno untouched. You triggered a plot twist because you stopped asking for the story to be fair. You picked up the pen, and now you're writing it in fire. The ones who doubted you will pretend they always believed. Let them. Their guilt is their punishment. Their regret is their prison. You don't need to expose them. Your success is already doing that. Every win, every elevation, every door you tear off its hinges becomes a mirror they can't escape. They'll smile in your face and choke on their envy. They'll toast your victories while swallowing the bitterness of their own mediocrity. You're not just moving forward, you are haunting them. Because they had the chance to stand beside you, but they chose comfort over courage, familiarity over faith. And now, you've left them in the rear view of your legacy. They say the best stories have twists. What they forget is that the most unforgettable ones come from pain, from perseverance, from the raw will to keep going when everything tells you to quit. You are living proof that hell doesn't break everyone. Some people come out wearing the flames. You are the embodiment of resilience they couldn't comprehend. And now, when you speak, the room listens. When you move, the ground obeys. Because there's power in those who have walked through the worst and still find the strength to rise. Not because they're fearless, but because they've made peace with fear. You stopped fearing the fall because you already fell, and you climbed out, alone. This world respects force, not the loud, boastful kind, but the quiet, relentless, undeniable kind. And that's what you are now, a force. Not because you scream the loudest, but because your presence speaks in volumes silence could never hold. You don't have to explain your journey anymore. You don't have to justify your scars. They are proof of battles won, proof of nights conquered, proof that every moment you were doubted became a blueprint for domination. You are not lucky. You are relentless, not gifted, just unbreakable. And that's something no one can take from you. They thought they'd buried you under the weight of their expectations. What they didn't realize is that you were digging a tunnel out. Every doubt became a shovel. Every no became a map. You weren't trapped, you were building a way out. And now you've emerged, above them, beyond them, unfazed by their noise. You don't need to scream your worth anymore. You walk in it, breathe it, live it. They see it now, in the way you move, in the way the world bends to your will. You are the shift they never saw coming, and now they can't look away. Let the world keep underestimating you. That's your secret weapon. Let them whisper, doubt, mock. It's the same pattern you've seen 1,000 times. You know how it ends, with them gasping while you rise, with them watching while you conquer. You are done explaining yourself, done waiting, done hoping. Hope is a nice word for the desperate, but you're not desperate anymore. You are determined, cold, precise. And when you aim now, you don't miss. You don't seek closure. You provide it. You are the end of the chapter they thought would never close. They were comfortable when you were small, manageable, predictable. But now you've outgrown their limits, their understanding, their world, and they hate it. Not because you've changed, but because you've proven they were wrong. And nothing terrifies the comfortable more than being exposed. Your existence is a reminder that survival isn't luck, it's war, and you won. You clawed your way back into a world that had no place for you. You made room, and now you take up space unapologetically. No more shrinking, no more dimming. You burn now, bright, unforgiving, unstoppable. You've become something sacred, something fierce, a living testament that pain transforms, that wounds can be weaponized, that darkness, if wielded right, becomes light no one can look away from. You didn't just return, you transcended. They will study your rise and pretend they always supported it. But deep down, they know. They know they abandoned you. They know they doubted you. And now, they know. You've triggered a plot twist they will never recover from. They always fear what they don't understand, and now they don't understand you anymore. You've evolved into something they can't categorize, can't control, can't belittle. They try to make sense of you with the same logic they used to dismiss you, but it doesn't work anymore. Because you don't live by their rules, you don't follow their blueprint, you burned that map long ago. Now, you draw your own, step by step, line by line, carving a path through doubt, mediocrity, and small minds. What you've become doesn't need translation. It's not meant for everyone. It's meant for the ones who know what it means to rise with broken bones and blistered dreams. The ones who understand that the price of greatness is pain, and you've paid it in full, twice. Your footsteps don't echo because you want attention. They echo because the ground remembers. Every time they tried to knock you down, every door that slammed in your face, every betrayal you had to digest in silence. The earth beneath you carries those memories. It carries the weight of your past like it's sacred, and now it trembles beneath your stride. You are no longer walking, you are commanding. You are no longer hoping, you are deciding. You no longer beg for space, you take it, unapologetically, because now you know who you are, and that truth is something no one can twist, bend, or strip from you. They will try to discredit you. Let them. They will call you obsessed, ruthless, angry. Let them. They only label what they fear. They only criticize what they cannot match. Your intensity exposes their laziness. Your focus exposes their distractions. Your hunger, your drive, your unwavering discipline. These things terrify the average because they reveal how little they've done with all their comfort. You are a mirror now, and most people don't like what they see in it. That's not your problem. That's their reckoning. Let them talk. Let them scoff. You've been through hell. What can their gossip do to you now? You've stopped reacting because you've stopped needing to. You don't chase battles anymore. You pick them, carefully, intentionally. And when you strike, it's not for validation, it's for transformation. You understand that real change, real revenge, isn't loud. It's surgical. It's showing up to the world with scars and silence and letting your actions speak the language of gods. You don't need to raise your voice. You've become so undeniable that the world speaks your name, even when you don't speak at all. You're not looking for justice in their courts. You're handing down your own verdicts. Cold, precise, final. Let them remember that you weren't built in the spotlight. You were built in the silence, in the nights when the world slept and you stayed awake, fighting demons no one knew about, in the moments when everyone gave up and you kept going, 1 inch at a time, in the heartbreaks that shattered your identity and forced you to build a new one from the ruins. What you've become is not luck, it's architecture. Every decision you made, every sacrifice, every brutal self-confrontation, it all led to this. You are the product of war, of struggle, of relentless evolution. And now, you're not just playing the game. You are the storm breaking the board. They thought you needed saving. They were wrong. You needed solitude. You needed silence. You needed time to bleed without interruption, to break without performance, to scream without judgment. And once you had that, you built something unstoppable. Not a comeback, not a version 2.0, but something new, something pure, something raw. You became the culmination of every dark hour you endured. You are not polished, you are sharpened, you are not gentle, you are precise, and now you are ready for anything. Because you've seen the worst. You've been broken in ways they couldn't imagine, and you kept moving. They will never understand what it took, and that's okay. It wasn't for them to understand. It was for you to survive, for you to rise, for you to become the exact kind of legend that doesn't ask to be told. It demands to be remembered, and they will remember you. Not because you screamed, not because you begged, but because you showed up when it mattered, again and again, without applause, without handouts, without shortcuts. You built your empire one brutal truth at a time, and now your presence is a monument to pain, a shrine to endurance, a warning to anyone who thinks you can be broken again. You are no longer here to fit in. You are here to haunt the places that tried to forget you. You are here to stand where they swore you'd never rise. You are here to dominate every moment they thought you'd crumble under. This is your stage now. Not because they gave it to you, but because you took it by force. You rewrote the story in blood and silence and rage. And now the plot twist you triggered has burned itself into the memory of every doubter, every betrayer, every coward who chose comfort while you chose to endure. You are not a survivor. Survivors beg to be spared. You are a conqueror. Conquerors take everything and leave only ash. And if they dare challenge you again, they will find not the same version they once mocked, but something ancient, something born of chaos and clarity, a force that doesn't ask, doesn't wait, doesn't bow. You are inevitable now, and they will never forget you. Not because you were loud, but because you were unshakable. Not because you demanded to be seen, but because you refused to disappear. And when it's quiet again, when the dust settles, they will sit in the wreckage of what they once knew, staring at the ashes of their assumptions, and they'll whisper to themselves, "We never saw it coming." But you did. You saw it all. You saw every betrayal before it happened. You felt every wound before it opened. You knew they would underestimate you, and you let them, because you weren't trying to convince them. You were building something in silence, something violent, something holy, something permanent. You triggered a plot twist they'll never recover from, because you became what they swore you couldn't be. You became more. So keep going. Keep destroying their expectations. Keep rising like darkness made flesh. This is your world now, not given, taken, not inherited, forged, not inherited, but earned in blood, in sweat, in silence, in storms. And you owe no one an apology for what you've become. This is the twist. This is the reckoning. This is the moment when everything changes. And you're not just part of the story anymore. You are the plot twist. You are the aftermath. You are the silence that follows the fall, and you will never be forgotten. So now, as the dust swirls behind you and the echoes of the past fade into silence, understand this: there's no going back. Not to who you were, not to the lies they told, not to the cage they built around your potential. That version of you is gone, dead and buried beneath the weight of everything you've conquered. What stands here now isn't a survivor, isn't a comeback story, isn't a second chance. It's a force of nature, the walking embodiment of consequence, persistence, and unrelenting evolution. They triggered you, pushed you, broke you, and in doing so, they created something they cannot escape. A presence that haunts the halls of their comfort, a name that stings when whispered, a legacy they can't outlive. You triggered a plot twist they'll never forget. Not because you wanted to be remembered, but because you left them no choice. Now walk, with silence behind you and fire ahead. You're not returning to prove them wrong. You're moving forward because you've outgrown them entirely. The world doesn't need to see what's coming. It's already too late.